If you live in California and you're looking to put together an awesome fireworks show this year, this video will serve as the ultimate tool to help you make your purchases and put together the best show possible. I've learned a lot in my 10 years of buying and reviewing fireworks, so today I'm compiling it all into one simple, easy to understand video. This video will be split into sections, going over the stands, different types of firework effects, which stands are the best for each type of firework, and lots of other insider pyro knowledge. So stick around, and I promise by the end of this video, you'll be an absolute pro at putting together a safe and sane fireworks show. So the three primary stands that you'll see in California are TNT, Phantom, and Freedom Fireworks. If you aren't aware, Freedom Fireworks is actually just an extension of TNT. This is called brand proliferation, which is when a company will sell similar or even the same products under two or more different brand names or labels to expand their share of the market. You might remember going to DFS stands in the past, which from what I understand, TNT actually bought out DFS's right to most of their stands in California, and slowly they've turned DFS stands into Freedom ones. I just wanted to clarify that because it'll help make some other topics in this video make more sense, especially when I talk about the phrase rewraps. Rewraps are exactly what the name sounds like. It's fireworks that are the exact same product but sold with a different label or wrap. Some examples include Jumbo Purple Rain and Wicked Wizard, both fountains sold at Freedom. They're the exact same fountain, but for some reason, one of them is $10 cheaper. Another example would be finding the same fountain wrapped differently at two different stands, like the Centennial Fountain from TNT and Spirit of Freedom from Freedom Fireworks. As you can see with Spirit of Freedom, it's about $3 cheaper and it's the exact same fountain. So spotting these rewraps can save you a good amount of money and you end up with the same fireworks. Now we'll talk about some of the effects you'll see in fountains. The most common being crackle. There's all different types of it, but really the only thing I'm concerned with is how high, wide, and loud it gets. Some of the best crackle I've ever seen in a fountain is Retro from Freedom Fireworks. It's been one of my favorites for years now. Our next effect is nitrocellulose. Some people also call it globules or lava. Whatever you want to call it, it is one of my favorite effects in fountains, some of the most vibrant colors you will ever see. It also just makes a pretty cool noise. Some of my favorite fountains with this effect includes the 4-pack of fruit bowls from TNT, the flower pot from Phantom, and the lava panther from TNT. Our next effect is flying fish, which is a somewhat newer one, and unlike nitrocellulose, the name is a lot more straightforward. It's a really cool effect with the sparks flying everywhere. Some of my favorite fountains with this effect are Make the Grade from Freedom, Flaring Stars from Phantom, and Crazy Bug from TNT. All three are pretty affordable and great options for your show. Our next effect is the flashing strobe or glowing eyes. This is a pretty cool little gimmick, especially if the fountain is already good and then you throw this on top of it. It's a nice little bonus and something your crowd will be sure to notice. Some fountains with this effect includes Fiery Frog from Phantom, Freedom Star from Freedom, and Martian Man from TNT. Next, we'll talk about fan effects. With the tubes in the firework being fanned out, the sparks come out at an angle and create a wider spread. My two favorite fan fountains are Spirit of Freedom from Freedom and Magic Seashell from TNT. There's a few others out there like Delirium, but I personally don't think Delirium in particular is worth the price point. Now we'll talk about three super unique fountains with effects you'll only find in one or two specific fireworks in California. First, we have Crypto with the white glitter effect, and is one of the best fountains you can get from TNT. Super awesome, really bright and attention-grabbing opening effect, making Crypto a must-have fountain. We have Fiery Meadow Flower from Phantom, which starts off as a normal fountain, but then transitions into a spinning wheel attached to the fountain, which is truly unique and definitely one I'm going to try this year. And then lastly, we have the Double Punch 2-pack from Phantom. These fountains have sprays that actually come out of all four sides on the fountain, which is super odd but really cool. The only other fountain with this effect in California is Brainbuster. Now that we've gone through some different effects you can look for in fountains, let's discuss which stands are best for each category of fireworks. We'll go through novelties, which is items like crackling balls, sparklers, etc., small fountains, medium fountains, and then finally, finale fountains. You might be asking, well, what about assortments? Good question, and welcome aboard, rookie. Let me tell you about one of the main tenets of putting together a fireworks show in California. That is to never buy an assortment. I understand the convenience, but assortments are, number one, extremely overpriced, and number two, the fireworks put into assortments are way weaker than fireworks you'd buy individually. If you buy assortments, you're definitely not getting some of the more unique effects we discussed earlier, like nitrocellulose, flying fish, white glitter, glowing eyes, etc. All you'll get from fountain fireworks in an assortment pack is just crackle, some little filler sprays, and maybe a whistle or two if you're lucky. So that's why, if you buy fireworks individually, your show will be miles better than if you bought an assortment. You might be saying, okay, that's cool, but how do I know which individual fireworks to buy? That, my friends, is where my 2024 budget guide series comes in. I've made 19 of these videos where I choose a stand, a specific budget in mind, and then I put together a list of the best fireworks you can buy. I'll leave a link in the description to my playlist of these videos. Just click on whatever stand you prefer, whatever dollar amount fits your budget, and then you can watch as I give a full list of awesome individual fireworks that'll add up to that specific budget. That means you don't have to do any of the hard work or research, just leave it up to me and the budget guide video, and I guarantee you will get a way better show than an assortment pack. Once again, I'll leave my link to these videos in the description, so make sure to go check them out if you're interested. Back to what we were talking about, let's discuss which stands are the best for different categories of fireworks. First being novelties, which includes fireworks like crackling balls, sparklers, ground blooms, poppers, and a bunch more little weird and fun fireworks. Hands down, the best stand to buy novelties from is Freedom Fireworks, so if you live close to one, always buy them from there. Most of their novelties that they sell will be the exact same, rewraps, of what you'd get from TNT and Phantom. However, Freedom offers them at about half of the price. For example, TNT sells Blasts, which are crackling balls at buy one get one free for $7.99. Freedom sells crackling balls, also buy one get one free, but for only $3.78. Massive savings there, as you literally get more than double your money. This applies to their ground blooms, sparklers, smoke balls, crackling whips, and whatever other novelties you can think of. They are always cheaper at Freedom with either none or very few exceptions. If you don't have a Freedom in your area and your only two options are TNT and Phantom, my recommendation in that case is to go with Phantom. It'll be slightly cheaper than TNT and you'll get a little bit more variety. Moving on to small fountains, which I generally would consider any fountain under $10, I think TNT beats Freedom by a small margin here. Must-have small fountains from TNT this year include Game Mode and Bottle of Sparks, which are clearance 70% off fountains. I also like the USA Rockets, Icebreaker, and Cool Breeze. When it comes to Freedom, I don't think they're too far behind. Some of my favorites from them are Crickets, Short Stack, and Mount Magma. Phantom is a pretty distant third place here. The only small fountains from them that are worth your money are the series of 3 small intergalactic fountains. So for small fountains, I'd probably just recommend sticking with TNT and or Freedom. For medium fountains, all 3 have some great deals for you to pick and choose from. I think Freedom wins by a little bit. They're definitely the best in terms of value, and their 3 best medium fountains are Spirit of Freedom, Retro, and Freedom Star. All 3 of which were actually previously mentioned in this video at some point. Some of TNT's best are Magic Seashell, Crypto, and TNT Torch. And then Phantom also has some nice ones, with some of my favorites being Professor Flame, Red, White, and Blue Jubilee, and Flower Pot. On to the finales, and there is a cut and dry winner here, and that is TNT Fireworks. TNT is way ahead in terms of finale fountains. Some of their best are Living the Dream, which I think might be a contender for the best fountain you can buy just in general. Also nice is Atomic Salsa and Opening Show. These will have some of the biggest and loudest crackle you've ever seen. Freedom also has a few nice ones. If you're on a budget, then Retro could actually just serve as your finale, but Freedom's other finales like Colorama and Justice are good, but not as good as TNT's and a little bit overpriced. And then we get to Phantom. Absolutely horrible lineup of finales. All of their 500 gram fountains are just extremely underwhelming, and for $90 to $100 each. I'd advise that you avoid Phantom's finales like the plague. TNT is really where it's at in this category. And that marks the end of the ultimate guide to buying fireworks in California. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you're watching to this point, you're probably just as obsessed with fireworks as I am. So make sure to like and subscribe because I have lots more content coming on the way. See you in the next one.